here with Bill Haney. So, Bill, we just had the press conference after Conor Benn and Pete Dobson. First of all, what did you make of Conor Benn's performance?
Well, like I said, man, and I've said it on numerous times now, is that I'm not going to give this performance. I'm gonna weigh it out and say, give him another chance, give him another fight, because when you come to Vegas and the altitude and everything that goes into fighting in Vegas for the first time can be a bit challenging. So, he had a tough guy in front of him. I got a chance to see him outside when we left the stadium or whatever, right? And Dobson was a tough competitor. Take nothing away from him. And, Conor Benn just needs to move on to the next one.
Mm.
Would you say that having seen Conor being a little bit tougher in there, that dealing with that style, that he needs more time before he gets to that top level if you were managing his career?
Styles make fights. Like I said again, being in Vegas for the first time, with the altitude, can be challenging for a fighter. I know Conor, he's a veteran of how many fights? How many fights has he had?
Oh, he's
21st.
Yeah.
21st fight. He's still kind of, Devin has 31 fights, and we've been out here training and fighting for a long time. So I know what this Vegas altitude and the Vegas jitters. So, like I say, man, give him another shot at it, and let's see. You know what I mean?
How viable is that fight with your son? It seems like it wouldn't really be on the radar for the next or immediate fight, really.
It's definitely not on our radar for the next fight. The Benn family, they're legendary in the sport. What his dad has done in the sport. So, like I said, I just have nothing but pleasantries to send out to them. And if the fight is on the table, then we'll take a look at it. But right now, that's not the fight that's on the table.
I don't want to, you've been complimentary of Conor, so I don't want to sort of stir things up too much. But in the press conference, he was asked about a fight with Devin, and he sort of suggested that he doesn't have the power and things like that. How would you see a Conor against Devin fight playing out?
All respect to Conor, but Devin would open up the tattoo shop. We got a thing that we open up the tattoo shop and we go to tattooing on Mr. Benn, face. So I would like for Conor Benn to get another fight. I don't think that he's ready for Devin right now after that performance. But we'll see. Like I said, I don't want to down him, but just after seeing that, I don't think that he's ready for Devin.
Would you want him to fully clear his name before he fights Devin? What do you think of that situation that surrounds Benn? It's obviously a big situation over in the UK, and his appeal process is coming up very soon. But would you want him to go through that before anything is entertained?
Well, I haven't heard anything about him that wouldn't stop us from tattooing his ass up. You know what I mean? I hope he's vindicated, and what he said is to be true. Of course, if he's not, then that's something else. He got a chance to fight right here in Vegas, so we can only go on what we got a chance to see. And we will open up that tattoo shop on your ass, Mr. Benn. I ain't trying to hear what he's saying about no past stuff, about what didn't happen then or happened then. You'll get it.
Would you back him to beat Barrios if that happened?
Back who?
Benn to beat Barrios. They're talking about Barrios.
Barrios, tough fighter. Tough fighter out of Texas. Fighting here in Las Vegas. We've had some time to spend with him when he was over there with Virgil Hunter. Tough guy. If Benn says that he's ready for him, then, who am I to say that if he's not? You know what I mean?
Would you come to the UK to fight him?
Would Devin come to the UK to fight him?
Conor Benn, or would you
and open up the tattoo shop in the UK? Yeah, of course we'd go and open up a tattoo shop in the UK and service Mr. Conor Benn personally for the UK fans. So to answer your question, absolutely. We can't wait to get out there and fight. He's the kind of guy, he's legendary. His name is legendary. It should ring bells. I don't know that personally on that end. I know what he's done, his dad has done in boxing and how it resonates. The Benn name resonates with me. So of course, that would be the kind of guy.
What do you think of the path Ryan Garcia is on right now?
is on the path towards Devin Haney.
Yeah.
How
What do you
close
think?
is it?
Just in terms of the career decisions he's making, siding with Floyd, his next fight. What do you
Don't
think
mention
of it?
Floyd.
Okay.
Do not mention Floyd. Do not mention Floyd. We do not want this thing to go left.
Fair enough.
We're on the right path now. You asked again. Ask about Ryan.
Just in terms of his career direction and his career as a whole, and that fight with Devin in the future, like, do you feel that will happen? Do you feel he wants it?
Well, you don't know right now with him because he's brought so much drama and intrigue and suspense to his fights and their announcements. We just don't know. You know what I mean? I do my due diligence to talk and try to get the best fights for Dev, but I think we've been on a couple merry-go-rounds and been let down before, so we're a little bit, a little bit more reluctant to announce someone next until we actually have pen to paper.
Bill Ryan's said April 20th as a potential date. Now that Rolly's fighting Isaac Cruz, do you think that fight happens next?
Well, we're around here, we hunting, you know what I mean? And, we letting DAZN know if Ryan don't want to get it in, we can take his date.
Do you feel
We'll
like
be ready.
Do you feel like Devin's now got the credit? A lot of people questioned his power, and then we saw what he did against Regis Prograis, dropped him, etc. Do you feel like he's finally getting the credit?
Well, I know that it seems like they are scared of someone. You know what I mean? It don't seem like the phone is ringing, right? It don't seem like you guys are asking those questions and saying, am I going to do this and am I going to do that? Because I don't think that you guys are getting the pressure to ask me those questions about who Devin is going to fight next and so on and so forth. So we're hunting for sure. And if it's Ryan Garcia next, then so be it. If it's Conor Benn, whoever it is, Devin is going to be prepared.
Would Eddie Hearn be involved in a potential Devin against Ryan fight? Because Oscar De La Hoya seems to suggest he's a free agent. We spoke to Eddie this week and he said he's got, some sort of contract with Devin. What would be the situation there?
You know what? We don't know what the situation, and I don't know what that contract with Eddie, with Oscar, with Devin and Ryan would look like. You know what I mean? We've always had an option to go over and do some business with Eddie.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
We have an option to go do it now, but also we have an option to do a fight of our own if we bring it to the table, and the money is right. Then we're on our own. You know what I mean? Of course, if the money isn't right, and we don't have another fight, or I'm not able to secure another fight, then we're in business with Eddie as well. You know what I mean? If I secure a fight and I bring it to Eddie and we can do it, then we're in business. So it's a lot of different ways this thing can play out. You know what I mean? And I'm just happy to be in the Devin Haney business.
Just lastly, I remember after the Prograis fight, a lot of the talk was about your son against Tank Davis. There was also Eddie, I know, reached out to him, and Tank didn't seem to want to be working with Eddie. I mean, what was the situation? Because we thought maybe last year, maybe it would happen, Devin against Gervonta, but that doesn't seem to be on the table.
Well, I mean, I know Eddie. Fast Eddie is what I call him. He got a lot of money. But when you talk about His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, when he calls with all the money that they got in the UAE, and Gervonta Davis answers back with something that is not surprising from him, but surprising to the rest of the world. You just don't know what to make of it. You know what I mean? But one thing that Eddie has said, Oscar has said, Bob has said, Frank has said, and all of the promoters, I think someone also from the PBC team has said as well, that it's about time that the promoters make the fights happen, the fighters fight, because the sport will die if we don't. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it. I always stay open and optimistic about talking and discussing something involving Devin. I mean, if we need to bring on the players to make it happen, sometimes they're not always players that I agree with or that I agree should be at the table. But if it means us all eating and being happy, then I'm all for it.
Lastly, for myself, could I ask you, the Fury Usyk fight's been rearranged with that cut. Just as someone in the game as you are, would you look at that as a target, as a weakness? If Devin was fighting a fighter who had suffered something like that, is that something that you feel would be something you really have to go for in a fight of that magnitude?
Boxing is a fast-paced game. You would have to talk to Devin and see is that something that he does instinctively, or is it something that he plans on doing? Of course, we know when an opponent has something, an eye or something that's, that he's not comfortable with, we try to target it. So to answer your question, that kind of cut, and that's because it's right over the eye, that can present problems later on in the future. So I hope that, wish him and his team, and, Spencer and all those guys over there at Team Fury well, and Tyson a speedy recovery.
Just finally from me, I just wondered if you could confirm this. I saw some sort of report, maybe Devin said it himself, that he'd be willing to accept the same deal that Ryan Garcia took to fight Tank. Is that accurate?
I think what they were talking about was not the same deal as term as the same split with the money. So I think it was a revenue split instead of it actually being a thing where he's saying that he'll take a hydration. And I think everyone is trying to run with that narrative. But if the fight is going to happen, it's going to happen at 140.
Yeah, because Devin couldn't get down to 136, could he?
There's no sense in going down there. If he's already fought, if Tank has fought for 140-pound secondary belt and Devin has the 140-pound real belt, then that's where the fight should happen at.